Hi, one Best PR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is the NBA Odds Couple Show for Monday, April 18th. The NBA playoffs are underway. Mike Brenner, some things going exactly as expected, some surprises, right?
Yeah, it's just, Toronto, that seemed to be, and again, I should have learned first part, because Toronto, we know who they are, bottom line.
On the other hand, OKC, Dallas is completely cooked. You were dead on with that one.
Dead on with that one. I mean, I hit 5 out of 8 on Saturday and Sunday combined, but
Very nice.
You know what? And again, I'm not dwelling on this, but Toronto, because I'm done with that team. They're showing what they really are, and it's a joke. But here it is, Dwayne Casey, the coach I've been getting on.
You're going on a rant?
I got to go on a rant.
Okay,
Check this out. I just read this quote. This is his quote this morning.
All right, go ahead.
Dwayne Casey. As a team as a whole, I thought we were tight. All right, this is why this guy's not even a good coach. All right, those two clowns, DeRozan and Lowry, were a combined 8 for 32, and the head coach thinks, as a whole, I think things are tight. That's why you guys suck. That's why you're losers, and that's why Toronto going home again, and I nailed it. And I'm sorry, Toronto fans, you deserve better. But this guy sucks. Your team sucks. Toronto, I'm telling you, I called it. You're going on another early vacation. But now this series has become the who gives a fuck series, because Indiana and Toronto, not one of them is capable of winning one game in the next round. And I'm just telling you right now, what a joke you are, Toronto. You showed your true colors. Thank you, because our relationship is over.
Well, we will be analyzing that game.
I had to
we
get
will be
that
analyzing the game too today. And I just want to say one thing.
Can I ask you, if a coach says, I think we were tight when you're two superstars.
All right. He has a little bit more he needs. No, go. Get it all.
Well, don't you think, is there something wrong there, Pete? Does this guy deserve to be coaching a playoff team? They're the best the East has to offer besides Cleveland?
I agree.
They had a weak schedule all year, though, Toronto.
I agree with whatever you have to say about this topic.
Okay, I'm shaking. I'm so pissed off. But I cashed some tickets this weekend, because can I show you those?
Can I gloat just for 1 second myself,
sure,
personally, before we move over there? My one big lean in the playoffs was on the Spurs under, and did I nail it or what? I said
you nailed it by.
I said if it was 180, I said I expect to be 182.5. It turned out to be 190, and I said if it was 182.5, I'd still have a lean to the under. It landed on 180, which the whole thing was right.
That was beautiful.
So I had that one, and that was my big one before the lines came out.
That was one of my notes was to talk about that, because you did.
Look, I'm not the best handicapper in the world, but sometimes I nail them, I nail them.
You do.
And it usually comes with
you've done that in baseball too. You had a very and he's tweeting. We finally got Loshak tweeting.
And my tweetings are profitable.
Well, then there you go. Tweeting. Speaking of profitable, let's pan this board real quick.
That could be a gambling song. Profitable tweeting.
There you go. And hey, I expect you to have the words done over the weekend. You ought to write it. Okay, I went 5 and 3 over the weekend, so 139 and 113, still at 55% and profiting, cashing some tickets. Pistol Pete went 3 and 4, 79 and 96, but he's at 45%. He got something up his sleeve today, and before we get too deep into it, all right, we did post this on social media because SBR opened me accounts with 3 different books that are on our actual website. All right, here's one ticket. It was an 8.3 team casher, ticket casher. $500 that one cashed for, if they can see that one. I just want to make sure they see it. And then, read that off, Pistol Pete.
Basketball, LA Clippers minus 4.5. Oh, yeah.
I told you, Portland going home early. There's another one cashed.
That was one of my tail of the days.
For $500. Yes, you did tell me. And then this one here was the Oklahoma City Thunder. Unbelievable. They were up 27.5. That wasn't even close. That one cashed for $250. All right. Here's another one that was a small one for $100 on Oklahoma City. That cashed for $100. The only loss was the Cavaliers, another team that bit me in the ass. They cost me my teaser by a half a point, the one I had out for the show, and they cost me a first half, but that was the only loss. Up 1,063 in the accounts over the weekend.
There you go.
With that being said, I had to get that out and get that Toronto rant. God, you know what? I thought, well, don't worry, Toronto, at least you got hockey. And then I went, oh, shit, that team sucks, too. I mean, the Maple Leafs are a bad team and have been bad for a long time.
Get it all out. All right.
Nothing personal against Toronto, but get a new coach. Buy some real players. Come on, get these guys out. They're killing you.
So we got 3 games on the card today, and we'll go over each one. First one is Toronto, Indiana. Now, look. In game 1, Indy hit over 50% from 3. Toronto hit 21% from 3, right?
But things were tight. They were tight.
Toronto also killed them on the boards and out-rebounded them offensively, 20-9.
Amazing. It's still lost.
So the game 2 spread, the game 2 lines are almost identical to the game 1 lines. You got Toronto minus 7 or 7.5, first half minus 4 or 4.5. Totals 194 or 194.5. I said I was leaning under, didn't want to go with it, but I'd be leaning under again here. First half under 97 might be a decent play. Mike Brenner, you got burned on the game one.
Yeah.
What's your take on game two?
Well, you see me looking around?
Yeah.
I asked if they could have some props. I asked production if they could have a 10-foot pole in here for me today so I could go to the 10-foot pole, but I can't find it. But no, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
I'm not touching it. I mean, that game wasn't even close the first time, honestly. Indiana owned them from start to finish. Wasn't even close. But, Indiana's definitely got the mental edge. That team's bad. When you dominate the boards like that, offensively and defensively, and you lose by 10 points, there's some serious problems.
Yeah.
And obviously, Indiana's defending them very well.
Yeah.
DeRozan and Lowry, they don't scare anybody.
And
they don't
Paul
play
George
defense
was
either.
awesome. Is he going to repeat that?
I think he is.
He
I think that's why the last quarter of the season, he kind of stepped it down a notch, knowing he was coming back from that big year off that he had to save it for the playoffs.
Right.
How about you? What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are that I would definitely be leaning under again 97, but I'm basically agreeing that it's a 10-foot pole and I wouldn't want to touch it. Could easily see that one going over.
What's the team total for Toronto, or you don't have that in front
That's
of you?
interesting. For what? The team total for the full game?
Yeah.
Well, I can calculate it right now. It'd be about 100 and a half or 101.
Okay. I was going to say, I don't think that team could score over 100 points. Jesus, that might be a good one.
You think so? Oh, that's interesting.
But I'm just dogging them. I'm just letting the steam out, baby. But it's over. That relationship's done with me. But, hey, guess what? Nailed it on the head. Called it like it is. And the GM is probably still shaking his head. So, I would be.
We'll see how game two turns out.
8 for 32 from the field, though. Lowry and DeRozan.
Next one, though, was one that you absolutely nailed. You convinced me of it. I tailed you on it. That was a winner. Dallas and OKC. OKC just crushed Dallas. Dallas is depleted and defeated. Is that the team? Or was
that
it
was the
Memphis?
word. No, it was Dallas. No, it was Memphis. But now we can just label that one over here.
Dallas. Oh my God. And Barea's out.
Barea's out.
It's just you got to feel sorry.
I read
for
this
Dallas
quote.
team.
I love the mental stuff. I love that edge. And I read a quote, and it said, Kevin Durant said, we had something to prove because we missed the playoffs last year. He said, so we wanted to establish and make our will early. And he goes, and we did it.
The question is, how does that carry over to game two? Do they get complacent? Maybe. No? Hell no.
First half, I'm all over. It's -8.
-8.
All
-8.
over it.
-8.
Don't stop there, Pistol Pete. The game's 13.5.
13.5. Yep.
But
Both
I'm not
of them,
taking the game. No, I'm just doing the first half right now, but I'm leaning on something, but just hang in there. But Thunder on the first half again because that formula worked and Donovan let him, he just turned him loose and let him run. And Westbrook is absolutely healthy and focused. And like you just said, Bray is out and Deron Williams. Well, he's Deron Williams. There's another overpaid athlete. And poor Nowitzki because he's tired. But thank God he got that one win. Dallas is definitely looking for an exit. You know who I don't see a lot of during these hard times for Dallas? Mark Cuban, where are you? Take a break from the Shark Tank and come try to repair this team. Yeah, bless him.
All right. I'm going to be on OKC first half over, and this is not a tail. This is an obvious play.
Are you taking the over, or
I'm sorry? No,
you said the
first
over.
First half -8.
Okay.
OKC
you don't
first
need to
half
tail me.
-8. Yeah, it wasn't a tail just because. I mean, it was a half tail because I knew you were going to be on it. It was like a pre-tail.
I will tell you this: my thoughts were exactly what you said. All right, are they going to come out a little flat now? Are they going? And I had to think about it. That's why I dug into these articles. And Durant, I love Durant's mojo, and when he's talking about things that are motivating him, all right, that means it's spreading to the team. Pistol Pete, I'm telling you that emotional edges, you can cash some tickets.
Next one is Houston and Golden State. Now this is interesting. I gave the over on this one. That was a dead wrong call, and but it wasn't just a dead wrong call because of how far it went under. I looked later historically and saw that in the playoffs, Golden State is a big under trender. Right? Last year they were 5-14-2 over under in the playoffs overall. One of those overs was an OT over, and against the Houston series they were 1-4 over under. So 4 of those 5 games went under. So this one definitely.
What's it sitting at now?
Right now, it made a little bit of adjustment. It was 225, 224 in the game one. Now it's 218. This one, it opened at 220. Now it's down to 218. Probably the under. The only issue is
there's a big factor. Is he playing or not?
Right, is Curry playing or not? And the other issue is Houston went with a very clear strategy to try to defend against Golden State.
They sat down Montejunas and they started. God, what's his name? Yeah.
And now with
Corey Brewer, that's the one.
With Curry banged up, I could easily see them trying to switch strategies here and try to outscore Golden State.
Instead of
easily
trying to
see that would happen
around the court.
Right. Yeah.
And again, just because I have a source, and it's just a source, but he says he's not playing. He says
Curry,
it's quiet. Right. Yes, they're going to wait until last second. They don't want to give any mental edge either way.
Right.
But I heard he is sitting now. Again, I may be wrong because Curry's Curry, but. Does it scare me if he sits? I think mentally this team has already defeated Houston. I really do.
Right.
And when you're leaning on James Harden like you've done all year and he shoots 7 for 21, whatever he was from the field, all right, things are getting tough and there's other guys not stepping up. So I don't know, buddy.
This is a tough one. If the news comes out that Curry is definitely sitting, the total obviously will drop.
I was just
going
to say that's got to drop at least.
It'll drop. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you want to tail that drop or that you even want to anticipate it.
Or is it a 10-foot pole, Pistol Pete?
I think it's a 10-foot pole, and the only reason is because Houston had this strategy that completely failed, right?
Yes.
And Houston knows what their strength is. Their strength is don't play defense, try to outscore the other team and win 130 to 125.
Exactly.
And they might do that here.
They might. And you know what? Harden could be in that bounce back spot because it's rarely you see James Harden have back-to-back bad nights, you know. He is still a beast no matter what, but that team is already defeated. Pistol Pete,
I'll tell you what, if Curry is announced out and the total drops to like 212, I might take a shot with the first half over on that one.
Okay.
Especially if it's like 106, especially if they tweak it to like 104, whatever it is, I might take a shot with the first half over if Curry's announced out and the total drops 5 points.
So viewers, I honestly stick with the game and look for a tweet, okay, for a tweet from Pete.
I will
tweet from Pete. I like that. For real. All right.
Now, so is this a 10-foot pole game for you?
It's not even a 10-foot. It's just, I've been scratching my head.
Too many unknowns,
Too many unknowns because we have to remember who Klay Thompson is, all right? Let's not forget. He's the one guy that set an NBA record that'll never be broke, 37 points in one quarter. So he's liable to go off at any time. And I want to pull the trigger so bad on the first half. It's minus eight. It's just... and they covered it very easily last game.
Yeah,
but I think
totally
their
different
strategy
situation,
might be different this game too. So they may try to come in and slow it down a bit. So I'm holding off.
I mean, the reason they covered so easily was because Houston employed a very specific strategic change that completely failed.
It totally failed. It collapsed. And like you said, because of the news with Curry and the fact they may say we better go back to the other strategy, I think our chances are better that way. So I'm going to leave.
Well, we have two very, very interesting kind of 10-foot Polish type games tonight, but one game that I think we can agree has a pretty obvious and probably strong edge here. OKC on the first half, -8. That's my only pick. Do you have any other?
No, I have one pick, and that's it.
OKC
Believe it or not,
-8.
I'm not going to go out there and put them all out. But I do want to tell you that we are going to be joining Jordan Sharp again. And
Jordan Sharp is here?
The other day when Jordan gave us that insight, and trust me, he goes, Mike, I agree with everything you said, but I might take Detroit instead of Cleveland. Guess what? He was totally right. Jordan, you were absolutely right with that.
And guess who as usual, had no balls to take Detroit on the first half.
Pistol Pete, no balls Loshak.
No balls Loshak. That's my new nickname.
Yep.
Pistol Pete, the no balls wonder.
Here we go. No balls wonder. Hey, that's got potential to be a song as well.
Exactly.
But no, seriously, Jordan Sharp definitely called that one and nailed it, and I wished I would have taken the advice with Indiana. But one thing I was surprised at, and Jordan, you almost talked me into putting a couple units on Charlotte, but you talk about a whooping. Miami beat the daylights out of that team. There's another series I think that's a done deal.
I had the first half under on that one. Huge loser.
Huge loser.
Jordan Sharp, let's ask Jordan Sharp a direct question here. Jordan Sharp, Mike Brenner, and I think most of the gambling world are sort of like confused about what to make of the Game 1 results in Indiana, Toronto, and what to expect from Game 2.
Time out. NBA update. Toronto sucks. Okay, had to get that out.
Jordan Sharp, what's your take on Indiana, Toronto Game 2?
Continuing their problems of winning Game 1 in the playoffs. They have really struggled. I don't think they've ever won a Game 1 in the playoffs. So, I think Toronto can bounce back. I'm looking for a bounce back game from Kyle Lowry, but DeMar DeRozan really struggled. He's one of the guys I think I'm taking a look at for prop bets here for Game 2 in this one, especially because PG-13 just shut him down. And throughout his career, DeRozan only shooting about 37% against PG. Had to go all the way back. That's 17 career matchups. Really struggled to shoot the ball. So I think a bounce back from Lowry. I think the Raptors come back and win this one, though. Covering, though, may be another issue, though. That 7 points is a pretty sharp line. I'm not sure if I'm ready to take a stab at that one just yet.
Okay, and now let's ask him about...
Can I ask you before we jump off the subject? You know what? I know that you love the mental edge as well, Jordan, and you listen to the banner in the locker rooms, but I've been ranting on Toronto, and I got to finish getting out. And Pete, I'm sorry if I'm crossing the line with you. I'm crossing the line with you. I got to get this out.
You're hungover, man. You got to get it all out.
I got to get Jordan's opinion. All right, this Dwayne Casey guy, this joke of a coach, and I'm not kidding you. Got good coaches and great coaches, and now this guy's not even a good coach. All right, he makes a statement this morning. As a team, as a whole, I thought we were tight when those two clowns, Lowry and DeRozan, were a combined 8 for 32. And your coach is putting the check mark, hey, that was a good game. That's acceptable. That's why this team will never go out of the first round. If they do, it's on a fluke. And neither one of these teams are going to do nothing in the next round. So I had to get that out, and I wish I would have took your Detroit advice anyway.
Oh man, yeah, that Detroit. I'm no balls sharp because I didn't have the guts to take it either. I wish I I think you wish you probably would have taken my advice on the teaser though, and teasing up the Pistons till a
Yes.
plus 14 or so.
So we got no balls Loshak and no balls Jordan. Here we go. But we got Mike Brenner with the balls. You're the only one with balls, Mike Brenner.
Buddy, hey, I'm going to keep taking it down, knocking it down one at a time.
And let's ask Jordan Sharp on his take. You have anything interesting to say about Dallas, OKC? We're all over OKC. I think most people are thinking that as well. And the Golden State game, we're not sure if we're going to expect the same kind of strategic, defense-oriented strategy from Houston here. And also, what's up with Curry's injury? You have anything to say about those two games? Jordan Sharp.
I'm well on board with you guys in OKC tonight. They're gonna be missing Barea. I think that it looks like Darren Williams is gonna miss. David Lee's gonna be out again. I mean, this team stands very little chance. I think that they're probably gonna get blown out again in this one. Have to regroup. Maybe be able to steal one from OKC if they can get a little healthier for Game 3. But yeah, 13 points I think is generous tonight. It's already starting to go up. I'm well on the same boat of you guys probably for OKC tonight. I think for the Warriors game, I think an interesting thing to note. We don't know yet if Steph Curry is going to play. You have to think that they're going to play cautious because I think you guys probably agree with me. They can beat the pants off this Rockets team regardless if they have Steph and Curry. It's going to be a little bit closer, but I think the play on this one, if Steph Curry misses, has to be the total on the under. 218, already been dropping a lot since it opened. You look at Steph Curry when he does not play for the Golden State Warriors. When he does play, they have the best offensive rating of any team at close to 115 points per 100 possessions. You know what that number drops to when Curry does not play? 103.
Wow.
I think we can definitely see another defensive style of game here in game number 2, especially if Curry doesn't play. That's going to hurt their offense, and it's also going to help their defense a little bit because Sean Livingston's likely going to start. Very, very, very good defender is Sean Livingston. So I'm looking for potentially Curry to sit out on this one. I think the under probably on this game is one of my better plays of the day. I think we're following the line moving on this one. I'm really interested to see what you guys have to say about that, though.
Well, I got to jump in first because Pete just said you both got the same nickname, No Balls, but guess what? You both just gave the same analysis. So both of you, I think you both ought to pull the trigger on that because you both broke it down beautifully. It makes sense. And also, I told Pete in the show, I don't know if you had been on yet, Jordan, I got a source that's very reliable to me, and he told me that absolutely Curry is not playing, but they're not going to announce it. You know, they don't want any edges being available. So I love what you're doing with that. And
we didn't really give the same analysis, though, because Jordan said he liked the under, and I said that I'm concerned that Houston will just completely change their
I know,
game
but
plan.
deep down, Pistol Pete, and I know your body language. I'm not kidding you. There's something that says you want to pull the trigger on that under, and I'm telling you, I think it's a good call, and I'm actually going to add one more play before.
All right, I'll do it. We got it. I'm doing it. Under 218 in Golden State, Houston. Under 218. Second play for me.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the OKC one's going to win, so if the Houston one loses, I'll be 1-1. That's going to bring my percentage up.
There you go. And Jordan, also, you know, James Harden can only put this team on his shoulders so many times, and he had a terrible outing last time. It's very rare that you see him have back-to-back off nights. So I look for him to spring back, but who else in that lineup is capable of at least earning a paycheck, stepping up, and giving this man some damn help?
Man, you got to think it's Dwight Howard, but you know I was one rebound off of cashing a 3-0 perfect night on my Dwight Howard over rebounds prop. They just didn't show up. None of my guys, all my guys for props, I could be 6-0 right now if all my guys would have played in the fourth quarters, Dwight Howard included. He's got to be the guy that steps up for this team. So I think he's another guy I might be looking at for potentially for a rebounds prop tonight, maybe even points and rebounds. He's got to step up on the offensive glass and get some points. Got to control the paint against this Golden State team if they're going to want any chance to win. Real quick, though, got to drop some knowledge on some of these props here tonight. Mentioned DeMar DeRozan. He might be another guy I'm looking at underwise tonight. Golden State potentially, like you said, if Curry is indeed missing, that team total hasn't been released yet, obviously strategically enough, but I think that could be an underplay as well. And tonight, with all the guys missing for Dallas, Dirk Nowitzki points prop on the over might be a pretty good play. I think that'll probably be around 19.5, maybe 20. This guy owns the Thunder in the playoffs in about, I think, 12 career playoff games, averaging just under 30 points per game. I think Dirk, with all the injuries that Dallas has tonight, is going to come out and have a classic Dirk flashback moment. I don't think it's going to be enough to win, but I think at least Dirk Nowitzki is going to have a good game here.
Yeah, Dirk might do that. He might pull that off, but he's definitely done owning any team. I can tell you that right now. And he definitely, even if he owned the Thunder, that will not whatsoever equal to a W for sure, because that is an absolute. That team has got to be under rebuilding mode next year. But I like what you say about Dirk, and I think that might be a very smart, sharp call. I like that guy. He is absolutely, he's just a man's man as far as a player. He don't play for the money. he loves the game, all right?
Yeah.
And it's just a shame that they didn't surround him with better talent in my eyes. So at the end of his career here, he could go out with a realistic, shot at a title. He deserves it. If he was on another team, forget about it. That team would own the Thunder. I really believe that. With that being said, I'm going to add one more pick before we say goodbye to Jordan. I'm going to do a two-team teaser. Okay. Right now, what is the full lines for the Golden State and for the Thunder? Are they both at 13.5?
For Golden State 13 and OKC 13.5.
Okay, so I will take the Thunder then and the Golden State Warriors on a two-team teaser.
So that'll be Golden State -9, OKC -9.5.
Exactly, and my first play was the Thunder on the first half again, -8, because Durant said we want to just set the tone and let them know this is our will, not yours. We're running this thing. So they're going to do that again, and I think they're going to bury him. So with that being said, what
I got
are your
OKC -8 on the first half and Golden State under 218. That's it. We nailed these three games.
We're going to pan this board one more time real quick. Yeah, I've got to pan this board twice. It's all about that account. It's about that accountability. So with that being said, 139 and 113 at 55%. Two strong plays out there today. Pistol Pete, 79 and 96. He's
1 and 1 will bring that number up.
That's it. He's going to move it up, and just watch out. We're just getting started. So with that being said, I'm excited. I'm fired up, and I'm ready to make some money, Pistol Pete. I'm feeling pretty good about my plays.
We'll be back tomorrow for the Tuesday card.
Have a great day.